You know when you're on a roll with Pharah? You guys know. You swoosh overhead, get a couple big kills, land in those well-timed rockets, maybe some splash damage here on there or some on some unlucky fool or two or three. You're feeling yourself on what just went down. You just wiped them off the earth, right? You knock somebody off the map. Oof, that felt so good, right? Oh, felt so good. Then you go aerial again. You know what I'm saying? Then another Pharah tries to challenge you in the air. You're like, what are you thinking about, enemy Pharah? I'm feeling myself right now. Direct hits to the mouth, and then that Pharah is now questioning their decision as a gamer because you've just deleted them off out of the game. They switch heroes. You're feeling yourself. But wait, you're still in the air, and you're floating too slow. You're trying to get that little movement going. You're floating too slow. You hear a McCree off in the distance. Tap, 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 and you're dead. And then that slow-ass floating, you're thinking about it. I'm like, man, I wish that slow-ass floating wasn't so slow. Have you ready to switch heroes? Well, Blizzard, little did I know this, they made that slow-ass floating feeling feel 35% better because they increased the lift by 35%. It doesn't mean that you're going to be moving at lightning speed up in the air, but I'm going to tell you what, it did feel better. I went into this game and I was like, man, Pharah feels much better than I remember. And it showed in this game, and I had not played Pharah, I don't know, probably like a month or so. I've been playing Soldier 76. So, you know, when that McCree is off or some other semi-decent hero that has the ability to delete you from the sky because you are floating slow as molasses in the air, like one of those deflated, soggy helium balloons. You know that soggy helium balloon that like floats up and they get stuck within the ceiling? And then you see it like a couple days later, like over in the corner, and it has like, it's like slumped over and like it has air in it. Like you could throw it up in the air to slowly float down. That's that feeling that you had with Pharah, and that is why, you know, you look at her in high level play, it's like she gets tore up. I mean, there's some really good Pharahs, don't get me wrong, but you still get deleted, and you don't feel good about yourself when it happens. So this lift increase for me was it was a godsend. It felt good. It felt good to play Pharah. I still don't know if it is at the speed where I feel like I'm gonna play this is the next Unreal Championship or Quake hero, but I mean, it is certainly a breath of fresh air, and it feels much better to move around with her. They've also increased the minimum explosion damage, which I didn't know either. It felt like I was doing a little bit more damage on some of the splash shots that I was landing, but they increased that by 13% too. And that basically means the minimum amount of damage you could deal from splash damage or explosion damage is what they call it. That bottom end has been brought up. That felt better overall when I played, and it kind of made me want to see what it would be like if that was increased just a tad bit more. And it's just because I've been playing Titanfall a lot, and so I have that speed in my head when I'm aerial, and then when I go to something like Overwatch, which by the way, if you play Titanfall and then go to Overwatch, like the speed difference between those two games is unreal. And I don't mean that in like UT sense. It is just like they're not on the same wavelength at all. Overwatch is a really slow shooter. It is really slow, and I don't think that that is a bad thing. I actually think it's really good for that type of game. But I guess just the stark contrast between the two movement speeds is really noticeable for me, especially for a hero like Pharah, where I'm up in the air, I'm trying to make people aim on their y-axis, not their x-axis. So, you know, that can be a little bit more challenging for folks. But Pharah, for the longest time before this update, was just like, if you were playing a good Soldier 76, a good McCree, a good Widowmaker, or Hanzo for that matter, you were done. And don't do your ult in front of them, because you might as well just not been on the map, because you're just gonna die. They will still clip your wings very quickly if you try to do that in front of those good players that play those heroes. But I will tell you what, it does feel better. I don't know if it's too much. I don't think it's too much. I think they could still play with it a little bit more to make it that much more responsive. And I think they're really in the right direction, right? Like, Pharah is already a risk and reward hero for players that like to play in the air and like to get above heroes or like to mix things up and somewhat target the backline with her and her ability to be mobile. But at the same time, once you paint yourself as the target up in the sky, like, you play anyone that's good, you're going to get deleted real quick. So I hope you guys have been enjoying. Let me know down in the comment section if you are a Pharah player. Have you enjoyed this new buff to her lift, which is, like I said, quite noticeable. You get to save some of your boosts for places that you couldn't get to before, and you know, you get to use it in opportunities where it makes sense rather than every single time that you want to get to the second story. You better boost, you better save that boost and get up. Certainly feels much better with the recent update. So just wanted to drop that for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like. Plenty more stuff coming down the pipeline, guys. Till next time, folks, I will catch you all later. Stay frosty.